Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Dojo of Gain. Today we have proof of child sex trafficking in Hollywood. Now, this is a topic, to be honest, I feel kind of uncomfortable covering, but I kind of feel like I have to do it. So before we get into this, like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. We'll go ahead and take a look and see what the video has to say, and I'll give my opinion on the topic.
Turning point was that I was so good in everything I did with my team that I was, in their opinion, ready for the last stage, to be invited in sacrifice of children. I couldn't handle it. It was hitting me like hell.
So on top of the car accident, the TikTok ban for calling out the paedophile with 40 child R-word images on her computer that got off because of identifying as trans, the SUV that appeared over the road there. It seems like the worst time in the world, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead because I've been inspired by the film that everyone's asking me to talk about, The Sound of Freedom. I've been inspired by Jim Caviezel and Mel Gibson because I love that independent people that aren't tied to Hollywood are kind of venturing into talking about this thing, which has been an open secret in this town for years. So I'm going to add my name to the hat and I'm going to get into it today. So strap in. Facebook just started not posting any of my videos. As you know, I've been like a Hollywood insider for 20 years.
Okay, just right there, you can see a bad sign. Why is Facebook attempting to hide videos on this topic? There's definitely something going on, and it's super evident just with the gender ideology that's going on, where they're trying to teach it to children that are literally a few years from being an infant. They're teaching it to 3, 4, 5-year-olds. These type of things are definitely not appropriate to be contemplated by children of that age. Children of that age do not have sexuality, and it should not be introduced to them. And if it is introduced to them, it is an act of pure evil.
I've done the music for like 50 massive films. You can Google me, IMDb me. You can see I'm legit. I've been inside the system for many, many years. And it's corrupt AF. It's corrupt AF from the ground up. The whole thing's totally corrupt. And now I look back on it, it's evil in a way, you know. It's that there's some great parts where people could tell great stories, but the mainstream media has now been taken over by gender ideology and evil. This whole thing about, you know, be whatever you want to be, do whatever you want to do. That was the founding statement of Aleister Crowley, who was the first Satan worshipper. Do what you wilt should be the whole of the law. That's what we're living in now, isn't it? That, you know, that you can tell. Oh, whatever I want to do, I want to be a map. I want to be I want to identify as an animal. There's even a push for animal S word that I've seen. It's weird not to be able to talk about this on YouTube, which is why Rumble, the real Stephen Hilton on Rumble, I'll get into this more. So yeah, that's weird about the Facebook video. That's never happened before. Suddenly it's just that it's not there. And it's like, this video can't be uploaded. So I really need you to, I feel like a broken record, but I'm worried about this. The mailing list. Go to stephenhilton.net, sign up so I don't lose you. I mean, it's not a broken record because this has only been happening for the last week, but it's last 2 weeks, but it's been intense and it's been frightening. So I need you to sign up there. I need you to subscribe to this channel. The more visible, the less likely something is to happen to me, I think. What do you think? Do you think that's a good philosophy? Do you think more visibility means more safety? I mean, I think so. It stands to reason. So everyone wants me to talk about the Sound of Freedom film, and I love that people are beginning to speak out about this. I applaud their courage. I don't know, I haven't seen the film, but I don't know if it touches on Hollywood, which is something I'm going to be doing on Rumble, naming names. God, God damn it. I get a bit freaked out.
Okay, I actually did see the film. My mom, she invited me to go see it. I'll tell you right now, it is an amazing film. It's a very emotional film, and it's a film that'll definitely open your eyes to some things if you have them closed. And I would suggest that you watch it. Unfortunately, it is going to cause some pain to watch it, but it's going to open your eyes and maybe inspire you to go ahead and open your voice, go ahead and speak up and not allow this stuff to continue.
Because of everything that's happened, but I can't stay silent about this. I owe it to my own kids to speak up about this stuff. So we know that the blood rituals involving children are actually well documented in West Africa. Witch doctors, it's well documented that it happens. It's a real thing. Even the BBC wrote an article about it. Over the last 4 years, at least 400 African children have been abducted and trafficked to the UK. They were smuggled into the country in a sinister plot of blood ritual. So that's the adrenochrome thing. That's the thing that we're talking about, that Jim Caviezel was talking about, that I've been talking about, that Mel Gibson may be talking about in a new documentary. That's the thing that people think keeps them young. And it's the thing that's released when the subject of the deed is scared. Oh, fuck, this is horrible. This is horrible. So we accept, and we know, even the mainstream media talks about how it's an acceptable thing. So you can put the two and two together. That's not a big leap, is it? Imagine how much Hollywood celebrities are into esoteric, non-Western medicines. They're always talking about it. That's not a leap, is it? To think that they're going to try this thing that the African witch doctors tried. That's not even a big leap. You can piece that together in your head.
I mean, I was aware of this. I've heard about this in the past. It's basically, mixing younger blood with older blood is used to make the subject younger. Now, something I want to touch that I'm not really sure about is, why are Hollywood actors or people in the media so looked up to for ideas? I understand maybe you like their movies or whatever, but that does not translate to them being someone who is an intelligent person to go to for ideas. I mean, a lot of these people don't even spend much time living in the real world. They get people to do all their tasks for them. They basically just work and get their stuff handed to them hand and foot. They don't have the mental stimulation and development of just your average person who has to go out and do everything. So I don't understand what this idea is that they're the people to go to for information.
We can't talk about individual people on YouTube, but suffice to say, that's not a leap. And the people that you might expect, possibly, might be the people that possibly are doing this kind of thing. At the beginning of this video, I had some footage from one of the top flight, high finance Dutch bankers, and see how he was introduced to this. I don't even know if I can say this on YouTube. He was invited to one of these ceremonies, as he talks about there. So that's mirrored in Hollywood. All the elites, it's all mirrored all over the top flight of the elites. This is the similar thing that goes on in all of them. But what I wanted to talk about...
Pretty sure in a podcast I've heard with Alex J, because I don't even want to say the name either, because, you know, it's like a name YouTube looks for, gave a pretty detailed explanation of what goes on in these ceremonies. Now, everybody says that he's crazy. I know he says some crazy stuff. He said some crazy stuff, but not everything he says is false. So if you guys want to go ahead, check that out. You can look it up. But yeah, he has some pretty detailed stuff about that I remember in the podcast. I believe it was one he did with Joe Rogan.
About today is the fact that this neo-progressive narcissist agenda, you know what I'm talking about, is trying to tolerate everything, push to tolerate everything, push to tolerate maps, push to tolerate us literally into Armageddon. Because you see how it's syncing up. This is being talked about, these
Toleration is weakness and cowardice. You are not obligated to tolerate anything that you feel is wrong. And if you feel it's wrong, it's your right to speak up and not tolerate it. That's why there's such a push against masculinity, because men are the first ones that are willing to not tolerate. They're the first ones to not give white lies when somebody asks for their opinion about something. And that's why they're trying to feminize them, because they're trying to put a stop to it. Now, to fight against this, hit the gym, eat healthy food, make sure you don't consume things that are going to try to feminize your mind, basically. Be a free thinker. Just go inside yourself, and whatever your masculinity naturally draws out from you, that would be the right thing to do. And what the world tells you to do is probably the wrong thing to do.
ceremonies are being talked about, and then on the other hand, this incredibly loud movement that's seeping into schools, into workplaces, is telling us to accept everything. You can see how this is planning to coalesce. 79% of American people have views that they're too scared to talk about because they think they'll be fired from work or ostracized from friends. These are people that don't want to talk about being anti-woke. Everyone I know pretty much who's reasonable has under their breath come up to me and gone, I really appreciate the anti-woke thing, I think it's crazy. But no one wants to talk about it, so that's why it's important that someone like me is standing up. And, you know, I welcome you. Stand behind me on this. Stand behind me. If you can't stand up at work, stand behind me. Go to the website, donate to the cause, sign up to the channel membership, sign up to my Patreon, subscribe.
All right, he said he has some more proof. I'm not sure if the beginning is the only proof that he has. I'm just going to go ahead and skim through and see if there's anything else on the video that has another clip. All right, looks like he's just talking, so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and see how he wraps it up and see what information he has to give. Yeah, basically, this woke thing on the media, and that all these people are behind it, it's actually fake. It's not real. You go ahead and look at the Facebook comments or the comments on anything. There's not very many people that agree with these ideas. Most of the people agreeing with these ideas are of college age. People of college age, no offense, but their opinions aren't really that valid because their brains are not fully developed yet. Your brain isn't developed until you're at least 25 years old. So if you're of college age, I know that would make you upset that I say that. But once you are older, you're going to agree that your opinion at that age wasn't valid anyways. So it's just a matter of time before you agree with me anyways.
Remember these things. Is it a leap to think that this child ceremony stuff goes on in West Africa and goes on in this film, The Sound of Freedom, but hasn't made its way over to the Hollywood elites? Is that completely unbelievable when they're so into all these weird medicines and cures? That's not a leap. So that's something to take away from here. Takeaway 2, I can't name names on YouTube. Rumble, The Real Stephen Hilton. I'm starting next week, this series. Takeaway 3, this progressive, narcissist, neoliberal agenda is forcing us to accept things that we never would normally accept. They're forcing it down our throats. It started off...
Okay, I can tell you right now, 100%, that is not a conspiracy theory. It's 100% factual that the guerrillas in Colombia kidnap children and they do their acts with these girls that they kidnap. They obligate them, they enslave them. This is 100% factual. Guerrillas in Colombia, guerrillas in Venezuela. I think I'm not sure if there's still guerrillas in Peru. There was before. Basically in the Amazon jungle, they have these militia groups that are like their own government. They have their own small towns and they run their own thing. This is 100% factual. It's not a conspiracy theory. You can look into it yourself. Or if you don't believe me, go into a guerrilla town in Colombia and see if you make it out. Okay. Next. These people exist. They've always existed. There's no reason to believe that they don't exist. You're basically, I don't want to be insulting, so you lack intelligence if you believe that it doesn't exist. And is the world behind this? Is the media behind this? Is that a conspiracy? Well, let's think about something. What is the main thing that the media promotes? They promote sexual immorality. They promote basically the most disgusting, unclassy things that you could possibly think of. They've normalized disgusting, unclassy things that were not normalized 10 years ago. I mean, you can see girls on their hands and knees twerking at nightclubs in public. They should be ashamed. It's disgusting. They're the reason why they're going to die single, okay? And the men are no better. I'm not trying to put the women down. There's plenty of crap that the media is just doing because people are sheep and whatever information they're fed, they're going to go ahead and repeat it. The majority of people, unfortunately, are less than intelligent, and you can manipulate to do whatever you want if you're running the media. This is a fact, and if you don't believe it, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. But hey, if you want me to cover any more of this stuff, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys next time. Peace.
Yeah.